Voice of Change News.
This is Voice of Change Radio News. I'm Amanda Kumalo. A quick look at stories making the headlines. President appoints first female Attorney General. In business news, manufacturers under fire for bypassing wholesalers. In regional and international news, Eswatini gears up for democratic elections this Friday with no parties and an absolute monarch. In sports news, Chawonza champions professionalism. The news in detail. President Mnangagwa yesterday appointed the country's first female Attorney General, Ms. Virginia Mabisa, with effect from November 1. The president made 3 other appointments: a special advisor to the president responsible for monitoring implementation of government programs, public health advisor to the president and cabinet, and the chairperson of the National Railways of Zimbabwe board. Chief Secretary to the President and Cabinet, Dr. Martin Rushwaya, announced the appointments in a statement. He said Dr. Joram Gumbo will assume with immediate effect the position of Special Advisor to the President responsible for monitoring implementation of government programs. Dr. Agnes Mahomba also immediately assumes the newly created post of Public Health Advisor to the President and Cabinet, while Mr. Mike Madiro becomes with immediate effect the chairperson of the National Railways of Zimbabwe Private Limited Board. Moving on to business news. The government will address some distortions in the retail supply chain where manufacturers are directly supplying goods to informal traders and retailers, threatening the viability of wholesalers. Speaking during a tour of National Foods Holdings yesterday, Industry and Commerce Minister Dr. Stembi Sonyoni said there was need to address the anomaly to avoid chaos in industry and commerce. Minister Nyoni said that the retail value chain creates jobs and order, adding that it was government policy to ensure the value chain was alive to sustain those jobs. In news beyond our borders, on Friday, Eswatini will vote to elect parliamentarians in the last absolute monarchy in Africa. Government authorities say it will be an opportunity to vote for the Swat people's ideal government and preferred system of governance. Prime Minister Cleopas Sipho Dlamini said that the elections were the greatest stage for the people of Eswatini to decide their future leadership. And finally, in sports news, Dynamo's Vice Chairman Vincent Chawonza says he's on a mission to professionalize local football through adoption of sports science over antiquated administration methods prevailing on the domestic scene. Chawonza believes the integration of junior and senior teams has started producing results at Dynamos, where junior players like Elton Chikona continue to shine. Chikona is currently undergoing trials in Spain. In the build-up to the Harare derby at the National Sports Stadium on Sunday, the Dynamos under-14s took on the BN Academy in a curtain raiser, a return to Dimbaria of the old. That brings us to the end of this bulletin.
Voice of Change News.